This audiobook opens the hidden door of quantum alignment, where unseen frequencies sculpt the visible world, and the moment you step through, nothing in your reality will remain the same. Introduction. Beyond the edges of ordinary perception, where silence hums and shadows fold into light, there lies a secret chamber of creation. The ancients spoke of it as the axis of the soul, the turning point where thought becomes substance and desire breathes itself into matter. Today, we name it quantum alignment. Picture yourself standing at the threshold of a temple not built with stone, but woven of luminous threads, where every step you take echoes into eternity. The air here vibrates with the music of frequencies unseen, rivers of energy that flow in perfect harmony, awaiting the touch of your intention. Within these currents, reality itself bends to the rhythm of your inner song. Perhaps you have felt it before, those fleeting moments when coincidence dissolves into miracle, when what you silently imagined arrives at your door, as if the universe itself conspired in your favor. These are not accidents. They are fragments of alignment, sparks from the great eternal flame that burns within you, whispering, "You are the one who creates." Quantum alignment is not a concept to be learned. It is a remembrance to be awakened. It is the hidden geometry of the cosmos mirrored in your very breath, the silent code that governs abundance, love, and destiny. When you align with it, doors swing open without effort, rivers part before you, and time itself seems to bend. Yet most walk unaware, their lives shaped not by intention, but by unconscious drift, tossed upon the waves of external circumstance. But here, in this moment, you are called to remember. To step into the role you were always meant to play, not a passive witness, but a divine architect of reality. This audiobook is your lantern in the cavern, your compass across the unseen, your sacred script for awakening. With each chapter, you will peel back the veils that cloud your sight until the truth gleams before you with undeniable clarity. The power you seek has never been outside, it has always lived within. So, breathe deeply now. Imagine light filling your chest, rising like dawn over still waters. Know that as you listen, the alignment has already begun. You are no longer standing on the threshold. You have entered the temple. Chapter 1. The First Alignment. There is a silence deeper than the absence of sound, a silence that vibrates with hidden music, waiting to be heard. That silence is where your story begins. It is the womb of creation, the place before thought, before word, before form. In this stillness, everything is already written in potential. Every life you could live, every dream that could unfold, every path already exists, shimmering like unlit constellations in the cosmic dark. And you, yes you, are the spark that decides which constellation comes alive. Think of reality not as a fixed stone wall, but as a field of light, shimmering like a desert mirage. What you perceive as solid is nothing more than energy, vibrating, arranging itself according to the blueprint of your consciousness. The ancients understood this, though they spoke in symbols. They told of gods who spoke worlds into being, of sages who commanded the elements with a word, of prophets who saw what was yet to come and pulled it into the present. These were not myths. They were metaphors for the truth, that the universe obeys the alignment of mind and soul. Consider this: every thought you dwell upon is like a seed cast into fertile soil. When nourished with belief, watered with emotion, and warmed by the fire of your attention, that seed must sprout. It cannot resist. It is not a matter of chance, it is law. If you have ever wondered why certain patterns repeat in your life, why certain struggles circle back again and again, it is because your inner alignment has been tuned to the frequency of that experience. Energy attracts its likeness. The seed produces after its kind. But here lies the great revelation. You are not bound to the seeds of your past. You are free to plant anew. Each moment is a turning point, a fresh field awaiting your intention. And when you align with the frequency of your desire, when your inner vibration hums in harmony with your vision, the universe bends itself to your command. There was once a man who lived in quiet poverty, a tailor in a small village. His days were filled with thread and fabric, stitching clothes for others while his own garments grew thin. Yet every night, before he closed his eyes, he imagined himself differently. He would see himself walking through the market, his head high, merchants greeting him with respect, gold coins heavy in his hand. He felt it, lived it, believed it, until his sleep carried him into that reality as if it were already his. Months passed, then years, and though nothing seemed to change outwardly, the alignment had begun inwardly. One day, a traveling merchant brought him an opportunity, a chance to design garments for nobility in a nearby city. The tailor's work was admired, praised, and soon demanded by the wealthiest families. Within a few short years, he was no longer the poor village craftsman, but a man of abundance and dignity, living the very vision he had rehearsed in silence night after night. The world said it was luck, coincidence, timing. But he knew it was alignment. Quantum alignment is not about forcing reality into your will. It is about tuning yourself to the song the universe is already singing. Imagine standing by a river. If you resist the current, you exhaust yourself. But if you step into its flow, the water carries you effortlessly. The river does not care who you are. It moves for anyone who aligns with its direction. Likewise, abundance does not favor some and forsake others. It responds to alignment. It answers vibration. You may wonder, how do I align? The first step is to listen to your inner dialogue. What are the stories you tell yourself? What songs play silently in the chambers of your mind? If you constantly speak of lack, of fear, of impossibility, you align yourself with the very absence you despise. But when you dare to speak abundance, even in the face of emptiness, when you affirm wealth, though your pockets are bare, when you whisper, "It is mine," though the world says otherwise, you begin to shift the frequency. Words are not mere sounds. They are carriers of vibration, shaping the field around you. When the ancients said, "In the beginning was the Word," they were speaking of the primordial alignment. Your word, spoken with conviction, becomes a command to the unseen forces that sculpt your world. Pause for a moment now. Feel the breath in your chest. Place your hand lightly over your heart. Speak softly, not as a plea, but as a decree. I align with abundance. I align with peace. I align with wealth, with joy, with love. Feel the vibration ripple through you, subtle yet undeniable. This is not imagination, it is creation. Reality bends when you embody what you desire before it arrives. If you wish for love, you must align with love now, not in longing, but in embodiment. If you wish for wealth, you must walk in the frequency of wealth now, not in desperation, but in certainty. Alignment is the rehearsal of the soul for the stage of reality. There was a woman who longed for healing after years of illness. Doctors gave her little hope, but she began to align with a different vision. Every morning, She would sit in silence and imagine herself walking in a meadow, her body strong, her laughter ringing into the open sky. She felt the grass beneath her bare feet, the sun warming her skin. Day after day, she aligned not with sickness, but with health. Slowly, her body shifted. Strength returned. Laughter came alive. The same law that governs wealth, governs health, governs every corner of existence. What you align with must manifest. The skeptic asks, "Isn't this just wishful thinking?" But tell me, what is reality if not the projection of thought into matter? Every building you see, every invention, every work of art began as a thought unseen. The difference is that most allow their thoughts to scatter, unfocused, like light diffused into mist. Alignment gathers the light, focuses it, turns it into a laser that can cut through any barrier. And so the first alignment is this: you must choose the frequency you wish to live in and live in it now, not tomorrow, not when circumstances agree. Now, the moment you do, you step into the river that has always been waiting to carry you. Your sacred practice for today is simple. Before you sleep tonight, close your eyes and imagine yourself already living the life you desire. Do not plead for it. Do not wait for it. Embody it. Feel the weight of it in your body, the certainty of it in your chest. Let your final thought before sleep be one of alignment. For the night is not empty. It is a sacred workshop where the seeds of thought take root in the soil of the subconscious. When you wake, walk as if it has already begun. Speak as if it is already true. Align and watch the fabric of reality reweave itself before your eyes. Chapter 2. The Frequency of Choice. Every life bends at a single point, the moment of choice. Not the outer choices of what to wear, where to work, or how to spend your hours, though these matter. The deepest turning point is the choice of alignment, the decision of what vibration you will inhabit. For in truth, you do not attract what you want. You attract what you are aligned with. Pause and let that truth settle into you. Reality is not responding to your surface wishes, but to your sustained frequency. This is why the poor man who prays for wealth but lives in fear of lack remains in poverty, while another who quietly walks in the frequency of wealth even before it is visible finds opportunities drawn to him as if by invisible magnetism. It is not fortune, it is not accident, it is alignment. Think of the universe as a great orchestra. Every event and possibility a different instrument, each vibrating at its own pitch. If your inner being resonates with the frequency of joy, then joy will find its way into your days. If you hum with the vibration of despair, despair will echo back. You may shout for abundance, but if the undertone of your life is lack, the universe listens not to your words, but to your true music. There was once a fisherman who lived by the sea, mending nets and casting lines day after day. His heart was heavy, for he believed his life to be small and cursed. He spoke often of misfortune, telling himself he was forgotten by fate. And so his nets, though cast wide, returned often empty. One evening, an old traveler came to him and said, "Your nets are woven of rope, but your true net is the story you tell yourself. That story determines what you catch." The fisherman did not understand, but he listened. He began to change his words, speaking not of emptiness, but of the sea's generosity. He said, "Tomorrow the sea will bless me." And though at first nothing changed, slowly his nets grew heavy with fish, as if the sea itself had bent to his song. The story is clear. The universe echoes your inner song. The moment you choose to shift your frequency, the notes you play, the tune you embody, the world rearranges itself to match. And yet, many hesitate. They wait for proof before they align, as if the seed must sprout before they plant it. They say, "I will believe in abundance once it shows itself." But the law is the reverse. You must align first, believe first, feel first. The sprout appears only after the seed is planted in faith. Consider this truth. Doubt is also alignment. When you linger in doubt, you are aligning with uncertainty, and uncertainty births unstable outcomes. To align with faith is to place your foot upon a bridge, invisible until you step. To align with abundance is to speak as if the harvest is already gathered, though the field is bare. Let me tell you of a woman who lived in a crowded city. She dreamed of starting her own business but had no savings, no investors, nothing but a vision. Each day, her friends told her to be practical, to lower her sights, to accept a safer path. But she had heard the whisper of alignment and chose to walk with it. She woke each morning and dressed as if she were already a businesswoman of success. She spoke her vision aloud, not as a wish, but as a declaration. She imagined her store filled with customers, her name known in the marketplace. For months she carried this inner frequency. And then, one day, a chance encounter with a retired shop owner opened the way. He offered her his old space at a fraction of the cost. Within a year, her dream was flesh. The world called it chance, but she knew it was alignment. So you see, choice is not a small thing. Choice is the very axis upon which your world spins. When you choose doubt, life reflects doubt. When you choose fear, life reflects fear. But when you choose faith, when you choose wealth, when you choose joy, the universe itself leans toward your decision. Now ask yourself quietly, what frequency am I living in today? Are my thoughts dripping with fear, scarcity, regret? Or are they radiant with gratitude, expectancy, and joy? For you cannot serve two masters. You cannot align with lack and abundance at once. You must choose your frequency and hold it as if it were already your reality. Imagine yourself as a tuning fork. Strike the fork of abundance, and the whole universe begins to hum with it. Strike the fork of fear, and that too will be amplified. You cannot escape resonance. You cannot hide your true frequency from creation. The world is your mirror, and it reflects with merciless honesty. Yet this truth is not a punishment, it is your freedom. Because once you understand that alignment is choice, then you are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You are the sculptor of circumstance. You are the architect of experience. You can say, I choose to live in joy now. I choose to walk in abundance now. I choose to dwell in peace now. And creation, obedient to law, begins to take shape accordingly. Here is your sacred practice. For the next 7 days, become aware of every thought that rises in you. Each time a thought of lack appears, whisper to yourself, I do not align with that. I align with abundance. Each time a thought of fear appears, say, I do not align with fear. I align with peace. Do not argue with the thought. Do not resist it with force. Simply choose again. Alignment is not battle. Alignment is decision. Every moment you stand at the threshold of two realities, one born of fear, the other of faith. One born of scarcity, the other of plenty. One born of despair, the other of joy. And the gatekeeper is your choice. Imagine a garden where two trees stand. One tree is withered, its branches thin, bearing bitter fruit. The other tree is lush, radiant, dripping with sweetness. Each thought is a step toward one of these trees. Each word waters one of these roots. Where will you walk? Which tree will you feed? That is the essence of alignment. There is no power greater than the power of sustained choice. For fleeting wishes come and go, but sustained alignment reshapes the world. It is like water dripping on stone, slow yet unstoppable. Over time, the stone yields. Over time, the world bends. Do not be deceived by delay. The seed does not sprout the same day it is planted. But in the unseen, the roots are already digging deep. The soil is already stirring. If you abandon the field because the harvest does not appear at once, you rob yourself of the fruit that was already on its way. Hold your alignment steady. Speak as if it is done. Live as if it is real. The fruit will ripen. The harvest will come. Let this be your second alignment, to recognize that every moment is a choice of frequency, and to choose with intention. No longer will you drift unconsciously, allowing fear to choose for you. From now, you choose. From now, you align with the frequency of the life you desire. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Whisper it softly, with conviction. I choose abundance. I choose peace. I choose joy. I choose to align with the highest frequency of my soul. Chapter 3. The Mirror of Reality. Everywhere you turn, life is speaking back to you. The streets you walk, the conversations you overhear, the opportunities that rise or fade, all of them are mirrors, reflecting not what you desire on the surface, but what you are aligned with within. This is the hidden truth most overlook. Reality is not an independent force. It is a mirror showing you yourself. Pause and consider. When you look into a mirror, you do not scold the reflection for what you see. If your hair is untidy, you do not strike the glass. You adjust yourself. If your clothes are disheveled, you do not curse the image. You realign your appearance. Yet in life, when the reflection displeases us, how often do we shout at the mirror of circumstance, forgetting that it is but a reflection of what we carry inside? The mirror law is relentless. It does not lie, nor does it soften its truth. If within you there is fear, the mirror shows you a fearful world. If within you there is joy, the mirror paints a joyful path. If within you there is certainty of wealth, opportunities gleam before you. The mirror does not mock you, it reveals you. There was a young man who despised his village. He said the people were cruel, selfish, and untrustworthy. He longed to leave, believing that somewhere else he would find kindness and honesty. So he left, journeying far to a distant land. At first, everything seemed new, but soon he found the same cruelty, the same selfishness, the same betrayal. One day, a wise traveler told him, "You have carried your village within you. Wherever you go, you will meet the reflection of your own alignment. Change the song within, and you will change the faces you meet." This story is not about geography. It is about resonance. The world is not happening to you. It is happening through you. The mirror of reality bends to the vibration you sustain. Imagine standing before a great lake at dawn. The surface is smooth, reflecting the rising sun. If you throw stones of doubt, the water ripples with chaos. If you pour light into it, it mirrors brilliance. The lake does not choose what to reflect. You do. Reality is that lake. Your thoughts are the stones. Your frequency is the sun. But here lies the danger. Most people do not realize the mirror is their own. They think it belongs to someone else. They blame bosses, governments, families, fate. They strike at the reflection, never shifting the alignment within. And so the mirror repeats over and over until the lesson is learned. Do not confuse this truth with blame. The mirror is not here to condemn you. It is here to awaken you. If you see lack, it is a signal to realign with abundance. If you see loneliness, it is a call to embody love. If you see fear, it is an invitation to step into faith. The mirror is the most faithful teacher, showing you exactly where your alignment is. There was once a woman who longed for love. She cried each night, saying, "Why does no one see me? Why am I invisible?" Her days were filled with bitterness, her words heavy with complaint. The mirror reflected her inner world, and so she met only indifference. But one evening, she made a quiet decision. She said, "I will no longer wait for love to find me. I will be love." She began to smile at strangers, to care for herself tenderly, to walk with the frequency of someone already cherished. Soon, the mirror shifted. A man entered her life, drawn not by desperation, but by the radiance she now embodied. The world said she was lucky. She knew it was alignment. So how do you use this mirror law to your advantage? You begin by observing without judgment. Look at your life now, your relationships, your finances, your health. Ask yourself, what is this mirror showing me about my current alignment? Do not fear the answer. Do not shrink from it. For once you see clearly, you can choose differently. If you see financial struggle, do not curse the mirror. Instead, realign with wealth. Speak of abundance. Feel gratitude for what you have. Carry yourself as one already prosperous. The mirror cannot resist. It must shift to match. If you see loneliness, do not despair. Instead, embody connection. Speak as one who is already loved. Give kindness freely. The mirror must answer in kind. Think of reality as a cosmic cinema. Your inner world is the projector. The outer world is the screen. If you do not like the film playing before you, do not scratch at the screen. Change the reel. Adjust the projector. The film will change naturally. There was a king who ruled a prosperous land, but he was tormented by nightmares. He saw betrayal in every servant, suspicion in every advisor. His fear spread, and soon his people began to betray. His advisors began to conspire. His land began to crumble. One night, an old mystic whispered to him in a dream, "Your kingdom is your mind. What you project within becomes your throne without. Change your dream, and you will change your realm." He awoke, shifted his inner alignment, and slowly his kingdom healed. You too are king or queen of your realm. You too project, and your mirror, your kingdom, responds. Let this be your sacred practice. Each morning, before the day begins, stand before a real mirror. Look into your eyes, not as flesh, but as gateways to the infinite. Speak aloud what you wish your world to reflect. Say, "I am aligned with abundance. I am aligned with love. I am aligned with joy. I am aligned with health." Feel it as truth, not as wish. For what you speak in that moment plants itself in the mirror of reality. And as you walk through your day, whenever something displeases you, whisper gently, "This is the old reflection. A new one is already forming." Do not fight with the mirror. Adjust your alignment. Let the reflection shift in its time. For the mirror does not deceive. It always tells you who you are being. And once you embrace that truth, you no longer fear the reflection. You use it. You master it. You become the one who chooses what image the mirror will display. This is the third alignment, to see reality as a mirror and to adjust yourself instead of cursing the reflection. Now breathe deeply. Close your eyes. Imagine the mirror of the universe before you, vast and luminous. See yourself standing tall, radiant, certain. Whisper to it, reflect my highest self. Reflect my abundance. Reflect my joy. And know that even now, the mirror is shifting. Chapter 4. The Hidden Current. Beneath the surface of everything you see, beneath the appearances of form and matter, there flows a hidden current. It is the invisible river that moves silently through all existence, carrying events, opportunities, encounters, and blessings upon its tide. Some drift unconsciously in its pull, tossed about without direction. But a few, those who awaken, learn to align themselves with this current, and in doing so, they find that the universe itself seems to conspire in their favor. This hidden current is not random. It is precise, responsive, obedient to frequency. Imagine a great river flowing through the unseen. The direction of its current is determined not by chance, but by vibration. When your inner being radiates fear, the current carries you into fearful circumstances. When you align with abundance, the current delivers abundance to your shore. This is not superstition, it is the living science of alignment. Consider for a moment how the smallest of frequencies shapes the largest of realities. The way a radio dial, turned just a fraction, shifts the entire broadcast you receive. If you tune to one station, you hear noise. Tune a little higher, and suddenly music floods your space. Nothing outside has changed. The airwaves were always present, but your alignment chose the signal. Life works the same way. You are surrounded by infinite possibilities, infinite stations of reality. What you experience depends on what you tune to. There was once a sailor who longed to reach a distant island, said to be filled with riches and beauty. He set sail with all his might, rowing against the winds, fighting the tides. Days passed, his strength faded, yet the island never drew closer. Exhausted, he nearly gave up. But then he remembered the wisdom of his father. The sea has its own current. If you fight it, you will perish. If you align with it, it will carry you farther than your strength ever could. So he paused, lowered his oars, and allowed the hidden current to take him. To his astonishment, within days he arrived at the island, his journey effortless compared to his earlier struggle. The hidden current is real. You feel it in those days when everything flows, when people call at the perfect time, when opportunities seem to find you, when you sense you are in the right place at the right moment. You also feel it in its absence, when doors seem to close, when delays frustrate you, when life feels like endless resistance. The difference is alignment. The current is always there. The question is, are you resisting it or flowing with it? But how do you know when you are aligned with the hidden current? There is one sure sign: ease. Not the absence of effort, but the presence of flow. When aligned, even challenges feel purposeful. Even obstacles feel like stepping stones. When misaligned, even small tasks feel heavy, as if dragging stones uphill. Ease is the compass of alignment. Yet most are taught to glorify struggle. They believe that only by suffering, by endless toil, by pushing against the current, will they succeed. They are like the sailor who rows with bleeding hands, unaware that the tide itself can carry them farther if only they would release control. This does not mean you do nothing. It means you act from alignment, from inspiration, from inner certainty. When you act from alignment, the world supports your steps. There was a young musician who longed to share her art. She worked tirelessly, forcing herself to create songs she thought others would like, pushing herself into exhaustion. But her work felt empty, unnoticed. One night, in despair, she sat quietly by her window. Instead of forcing herself to produce, she aligned with the current of her heart. She closed her eyes and let the melody within rise naturally, without effort, without thought of approval. The song that emerged was pure, alive. She shared it, and within weeks it spread across the world, touching millions. Not because she forced it, but because she aligned with the hidden current of truth within. This is the lesson. Your highest power is not in forcing, but in flowing. The current of the universe is always moving toward expansion, toward life, toward abundance. When you align with it, you ride the tide of destiny. When you resist, you drown in unnecessary struggle. Ask yourself, where in my life am I rowing against the current? Where am I exhausting myself by resisting what already longs to carry me? Perhaps it is in money, where you cling to fear instead of trusting abundance. Perhaps it is in love, where you chase rather than radiate. Perhaps it is in your purpose, where you force instead of flow. The current is already here, waiting for you to align. To align with the hidden current, you must practice surrender, not the surrender of defeat, but the surrender of trust. The farmer does not dig up his seeds each day to check if they grow. He plants, waters, and trusts the hidden current of the earth to do the rest. Likewise, you must plant your vision, align with it daily, and trust the hidden current of the universe to carry it into manifestation. Here is your sacred practice. Each evening, sit in silence for a few minutes. Imagine yourself upon a great river, its waters luminous, flowing without end. See yourself laying down your oars, surrendering your fears, and allowing the current to carry you. Whisper softly, I trust the current. I flow with life. I align with abundance. As you breathe, feel the weight of struggle dissolve. Feel yourself floating, carried, supported. Let this image anchor into your subconscious. Then, when you rise in the morning, act as if life is flowing for you, not against you. Walk into your day with the expectancy that the current will bring what you need. Watch as synchronicities multiply, as doors open, as opportunities seem to arrive without effort. The current is real, and it responds to your trust. Do not mistake surrender for passivity. Surrender is active alignment. It is rowing with the river instead of against it. It is saying yes to inspiration, yes to flow, yes to the rhythm of the universe. You will still work, still create, still move, but it will feel like dance instead of labor, like flight instead of struggle. The fourth alignment is this: to recognize the hidden current and choose to flow with it instead of fighting against it. Close your eyes now. Imagine the river beneath your life, unseen yet powerful, moving you toward your destiny. See yourself no longer thrashing, no longer resisting, but resting into its flow. Whisper once more, I align with the hidden current. I am carried, I am guided, I am supported. And as you say it, know that the current hears you. Chapter 5. The Language of Light. There is a language older than words, older than parchment or ink, older even than the voices of prophets and sages. It is the language of light, the silent communication between the unseen and the seen. You have always been speaking it, though you may not have noticed. Every thought you send into the invisible, every emotion you carry within, every belief that hums beneath your actions. These are syllables of light, shaping the world around you. To understand this language is to understand the secret dialogue between your inner world and the universe. For the universe does not respond to what you beg for, or even what you say aloud in contradiction to your belief. It responds to the light language of your vibration. And this vibration, this frequency, is not neutral. It declares, with the authority of a king's decree, "This is what I am aligned with, and this is what must return to me." Pause for a moment. Close your eyes and feel the hum in your chest, the subtle current beneath your skin. That is your vibration, your language of light. If it trembles with fear, the mirror will show you fearful events. If it radiates joy, the mirror will reflect joyful outcomes. Words spoken without alignment are empty, but vibration is never ignored. Think of the sun. It does not speak, yet its rays touch every leaf, every stone, every drop of water. It communicates with the earth through light, awakening flowers, ripening fruit, stirring life. In the same way, you communicate with the cosmos through your light. The question is not whether you are speaking, but what you are saying. There was a man who longed to prosper. Each day he spoke affirmations of wealth, but beneath his words was a tremor of doubt, an unspoken sentence in the language of light: "I am still poor." And so, though he spoke abundance, his vibration contradicted him, and the universe returned only what he truly broadcast. One evening, weary of failure, he sat in silence. He asked himself, "What do I really feel?" The answer was lack, so he chose differently. He did not merely repeat words, he began to align with wealth in his vibration. He imagined what it would feel like to already have, to already overflow. He walked through his days, carrying the certainty of abundance. Within months, his outer life reflected the new language he spoke, not through words, but through light. The truth is simple. The language of light is felt, not heard. You may convince the world with polished sentences, but you cannot deceive the law of vibration. The unseen hears only the frequency you sustain. This is why some pray with desperation and see no result, while others whisper once from a place of alignment and reality bends instantly. So, how do you master this language? The first step is awareness. Begin to notice what you are radiating in silence. When you enter a room, before you even speak, people feel your vibration. Have you not noticed how some carry an aura of calm while others carry tension like a storm cloud? This is the language of light. The universe is no different. It responds to your aura, your unseen speech. The second step is embodiment. You cannot fake light. You must become it. If you desire wealth, do not vibrate with lack while chanting abundance. Embody wealth in your posture, in your gratitude, in your certainty. If you desire love, do not vibrate with loneliness while begging for companionship. Embody love in your kindness, in your openness, in your joy. The universe listens to embodiment, not contradiction. There was a young woman who longed for healing. She repeated every affirmation she could find, yet her body remained frail. Then, one night, she stopped struggling and chose instead to embody health. She spoke softly to her cells, saying, "You are strong, you are radiant, you are whole." She imagined her body as a vessel of golden light, each organ humming with harmony. She aligned her vibration with wholeness, and soon her body obeyed. Her doctors called it miraculous. She called it alignment. The language of light is not limited by distance. It reaches beyond borders, beyond time, beyond obstacles. You may sit in a quiet room and send light toward your future, and the future will answer. You may radiate gratitude for blessings not yet seen, and the unseen will rearrange itself to deliver them. This is why gratitude is so powerful. It declares alignment with already having. To give thanks for what you do not yet see is to speak in the native tongue of creation. Consider a candle. Its flame, though small, illuminates the entire room. Darkness does not resist, it flees. In the same way, your vibration, when aligned, illuminates your world. Even if your circumstances are dark, even if the mirror reflects lack, the flame of your alignment can shift it all. For light does not struggle with darkness, it simply shines, and darkness vanishes. But beware, the language of light cannot be mastered by force. You cannot command yourself to vibrate higher while secretly feeding on fear. You cannot bully yourself into joy while clinging to resentment. You must gently shift moment by moment, choosing thoughts that lift you, emotions that align you, practices that tune you. It is not harsh discipline, it is graceful attunement. Here is your sacred practice. Each morning, before the world claims your attention, sit quietly. Place your hand on your heart and breathe deeply. Imagine a radiant light glowing within your chest, expanding with each breath until it fills your entire body. Whisper softly, "This is my true language. I radiate abundance. I radiate love. I radiate joy." Feel the light extend beyond you, touching your home, your work, your path ahead. See it flowing into your future, bending reality to your vibration. Carry this aura into your day and watch how the world responds. And when fear arises, as it will, do not curse yourself. Do not panic. Simply notice, this is the language of fear. Then choose again, return to the light, speak differently, vibrate differently. The universe will adjust, for it is always listening. The fifth alignment is this: to master the language of light, becoming conscious of the vibration you radiate and choosing to embody the frequency of the life you desire. Close your eyes now. Feel the light within you. Let it swell until it spills beyond your skin, filling the space around you. Whisper to yourself, "I speak in the language of light. My vibration commands abundance, love, and joy into being. I am aligned, I am radiant, I am whole." And as you speak, know that the unseen is already answering. Chapter 6. The Sacred Imagination. Everything you see around you, the walls, the chair beneath you, the buildings, the bridges, the cities, once lived only in imagination. Before there was form, there was vision. Before there was steel or stone, there was a thought. Creation, at every level, begins not in the hands, but in the unseen workshop of imagination. And yet, so few understand that imagination is not a daydream. It is the seedbed of reality, the sacred womb of manifestation. Imagination is not fantasy. It is the blueprint of what is to come. When you imagine, you are not pretending. You are choosing a design for the invisible forces of the universe to bring into form. And if you look back on your life, you will realize this. Everything you have now, whether you love it or resent it, was once rehearsed in imagination. Some rehearsed with intention, Others rehearsed unconsciously. But the law is mercilessly faithful. What is rehearsed becomes what is lived. Consider a sculptor. Before his hands touch the marble, he sees the figure within it. His mind has already carved the shape. His imagination has already freed the form from the stone. The chiseling that follows is only the unfolding of what he has already envisioned. You are no different. Your life is the marble. Your imagination is the chisel. You shape with what you see within. There was once a young man who longed to be free from the poverty that haunted his family. He dreamed of wealth, yet each time he imagined it, he poisoned his vision with doubt, telling himself it was impossible. His imagination was shackled, and so his life was shackled. Then one day, he heard a mystic teacher say, "Your outer life is the shadow of your inner vision. If you wish for change, change the image, not the shadow." The words struck him. That night, he closed his eyes and allowed himself, for the first time, to imagine without restraint. He saw himself living in abundance, walking through his own fields of gold, giving generously to others. He felt it as real. He returned to this vision night after night until it became more real to him than his present lack. Within years, his circumstances transformed, not because he labored harder than others, but because he lived in the imagination of abundance, and the universe obeyed his rehearsal. Do not underestimate this power. Imagination is not idle, it is creation. You may say, "But I am only imagining." No. When you imagine with conviction, you are aligning with a frequency that must manifest. What you rehearse in the inner theater becomes the play of your life. Think of the actor. Before stepping onto the stage, he rehearses in silence. He practices not just words, but posture, tone, feeling. By the time he enters the spotlight, the performance is no longer effortful. It flows from his inner rehearsal. Life is your stage. Each thought, each inner vision is rehearsal. When you rehearse lack, you perform lack. When you rehearse love, you perform love. When you rehearse wealth, you perform wealth. So many people make the mistake of rehearsing the wrong scenes. They imagine disaster, and disaster finds them. They rehearse betrayal, and betrayal arrives. They replay worst-case scenarios as if they were entertaining themselves, unaware that the universe does not distinguish between imagination and reality. The vibration is the same. The mirror reflects it. But when you take control of imagination, you become a conscious director. You write the script, you design the scenery, you choose the ending. And creation, obedient to your vision, unfolds accordingly. Pause for a moment now. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, living the life you desire most. Do not watch it from a distance, as if you were a spectator. Enter it, live it. See through your own eyes. What room are you in? What clothes are you wearing? Who is beside you? What fragrance fills the air? What sounds surround you? Feel the texture of this imagined life as if it were now. The more vividly you imagine, the stronger the frequency. The stronger the frequency, the faster the mirror reflects. There was once a woman who longed for companionship. For years she lived in loneliness, rehearsing stories of rejection, imagining herself unwanted. Then she discovered the law of imagination. She began, each night before sleep, to imagine the weight of a loving hand in hers, the laughter of shared moments, the warmth of a voice calling her name with tenderness. She rehearsed not with longing, but with certainty. Soon her reality shifted. A man entered her life who mirrored the very love she had imagined. She did not find love, it had always been within her. Her rehearsal called it into form. This is the sacred law. What you persist in imagining must harden into fact. For imagination is the womb of creation. Yet you must understand, imagination is not wishful thinking. Wishful thinking says, I hope one day this will happen. Sacred imagination says, this is already mine. I live it now. Wishful thinking is weak, scattered, uncertain. Sacred imagination is steady, embodied, certain. The difference between fantasy and creation is conviction. And so, here is your sacred practice. Each night before sleep, enter the state of vision. This is the most potent time, for the mind drifts between waking and dreaming, and the subconscious is fertile soil. Choose one scene that represents the life you desire most. Not many, just one. If it is wealth, imagine yourself holding the proof of abundance, perhaps signing a check or holding overflowing accounts. If it is love, imagine the warmth of a partner's hand in yours. If it is health, imagine yourself running freely, your body strong and radiant. Repeat this scene until you fall asleep in it, for the subconscious, once seated, must obey. Do not worry about how it will manifest. The sculptor does not concern himself with how the marble will release its form. He knows it will. The farmer does not demand to know how the seed will break soil. He trusts it will. Your task is vision. The universe's task is arrangement. The sixth alignment is this: to recognize imagination as the sacred womb of creation and to rehearse daily the life you desire until it becomes your living reality. Close your eyes now. Choose your scene. Live in it, breathe in it, feel it. Whisper softly, I imagine not as wish, but as fact. I see it, I feel it, I live it now. My imagination is creation, and my reality obeys. Chapter 7. The Law of Resonance. Every sound in the universe vibrates according to its own frequency. Strike a tuning fork and another nearby, tuned to the same pitch, begins to hum. Not because they touch, not because one forces the other, but because resonance pulls them into harmony. This is the hidden law that governs not only music, but life itself, resonance. You draw to yourself not what you chase, but what vibrates as you vibrate. Pause and reflect. Your entire being is an instrument. Your thoughts are strings, your emotions the bow that plays them, your beliefs the tuning pegs that decide whether you play in harmony or discord. Every moment, you radiate a note into the unseen. The world around you simply answers. It cannot resist. It must join the song you sustain. This is why you may notice certain patterns repeating in your life. Similar relationships, similar struggles, similar opportunities. They are not accidents. They are echoes. Your vibration has called them forth again and again. And when you shift the note, when you retune the instrument, the echoes must change. There was a young merchant in a bustling city who struggled for years to gain customers. He lowered his prices, shouted louder than others, begged for attention, but few came. One day, a traveler told him, "The marketplace is an echo chamber. It reflects not what you want, but what you are. You are vibrating with desperation, and so desperation is what answers. Align instead with abundance, and abundance will echo back." The merchant laughed at first, but he listened. He began to walk with dignity, to greet his few customers as if they were many, to imagine his shop overflowing. Slowly, the resonance shifted. People began to gather. Word spread. His stall became the busiest in the marketplace. He had not changed his goods, he had changed his frequency. Resonance is impartial. It does not ask whether you are worthy. It does not favor saints over sinners. It obeys law, not judgment. If you vibrate with fear, fear will echo. If you vibrate with love, love will echo. If you vibrate with wealth, wealth will echo. The law cannot be bribed, deceived, or bent. It responds to resonance alone. Imagine a great cathedral with vaulted ceilings. A single note sung into its chamber fills the entire space, multiplied, reverberating until the walls themselves seem to sing. Life is such a cathedral. The note you sing, whether of joy or despair, fills the chamber of your existence, reverberating until the walls of reality vibrate with your song. But here lies the hidden danger. Most people are unaware of what note they are sustaining. They focus on surface actions while ignoring their resonance. They toil, they strive, they push, but within, their vibration sings of lack, of doubt, of fear. And so the universe, obedient to resonance, multiplies their hidden song. To master resonance is to master reality. It is not about shouting louder into the chamber of life. It is about tuning your instrument to the note you wish to hear echoed back. There was once a woman who longed for love. She pursued partner after partner, growing bitter with each disappointment. One day, weary of failure, she stopped and asked herself, "What am I resonating with?" She realized her inner note was one of neediness and insecurity. So she shifted. She began to resonate with love itself, not as lack but as embodiment. She treated herself with tenderness, spoke to herself with kindness, carried herself as one already cherished. Soon the universe answered. A man appeared who matched the love she radiated, not because she chased, but because she resonated. This is the essence of resonance. Like attracts like, not by effort, but by law. So how do you retune your instrument? The first step is awareness. Listen to yourself, not just in words, but in vibration. Ask, what am I really resonating with today? If you feel heavy, anxious, bitter, you are radiating those notes. They will return. If you feel grateful, expansive, joyful, you are radiating those notes. They too will return. Awareness is the beginning of mastery. The second step is deliberate retuning. Just as a musician turns the pegs of his violin, you too can shift your frequency. You do this through thought, through emotion, through practice. Gratitude is one of the greatest tuners. When you give thanks, even for small things, you shift your resonance toward abundance. Joy tunes you to joy. Faith tunes you to miracles. Think of resonance like a great magnet. You cannot demand the magnet to attract iron while you align it with wood. The magnet does not obey desire. It obeys polarity. Likewise, the universe does not respond to your surface wishes. It responds to your resonance. Align yourself with the frequency of what you desire, and you become magnetic to it. There was a farmer who complained each year of poor harvests. He blamed the weather, the soil, the pests. One season, an old sage visited him and said, "Your land is not cursed, your vibration is. You rise each day expecting failure, and failure answers. Rise tomorrow expecting abundance, and abundance will answer." The farmer scoffed, but he tried. He walked his fields with gratitude, spoke blessings over his crops, and carried the resonance of harvest. That year, his yield was the richest he had ever known. The sacred practice of resonance is this: Begin each morning by choosing your note. Before you rise from bed, breathe deeply and ask yourself, what frequency will I resonate with today? Choose abundance. Choose peace. Choose joy. Then, carry that note through your actions, through your words, through your thoughts. Each time you waver, each time fear arises, gently retune. Whisper, I choose abundance, I choose joy, I choose faith. The chamber will echo, the universe cannot resist. Do not despise small beginnings. Even a faint note, sustained with faith, fills the cathedral. Even a small shift in resonance, held steadily, multiplies until reality vibrates with it. The tuning may take time, but once it locks, the echo is unstoppable. The seventh alignment is this: to understand that life is an echo chamber of resonance, and to deliberately tune your vibration to the frequency of the reality you desire. Close your eyes now. Imagine yourself as an instrument, strings stretched, ready to sing. Strike the note of joy within. Hear it echo in the chamber of your life. Whisper softly, I resonate with abundance. I resonate with love. I resonate with peace. I resonate with joy. The universe must answer my song, and as you say it, know that the echo has already begun. Chapter 8. The Power of Certainty. There is a secret force hidden behind every miracle, every sudden shift, every manifestation that appears as if by magic. That force is certainty. Not the shaky hope of maybe one day, not the timid whisper of I wish, but the immovable conviction that says, it is done, it is mine, it cannot be otherwise. When certainty takes root, reality has no choice but to align. Pause here and feel the difference. Hope is a beggar. It stretches its hand, asking life to spare a coin. Certainty is a king. It declares the wealth is already his, and the world rearranges itself to prove him right. Hope watches the horizon, waiting for signs. Certainty rests, knowing the signs will come because they must. Hope vibrates with lack. Certainty vibrates with having. And the law is clear. You attract not what you want, but what you are aligned with. There was once a general in ancient times who led his men into battle across the sea. The soldiers trembled, for the enemy was fierce and outnumbered them. The general, sensing their fear, gave a single command. He ordered the ships they had arrived on to be burned. As the flames rose into the sky, he said, "Now there is no return. We win or we perish." The certainty of no retreat filled the soldiers with a fire greater than fear. They fought with unshakable resolve, and, against all odds, they triumphed. The burning ships were not strategy, they were alignment. Certainty left no room for failure. So it is with your life. When you leave yourself an escape route into doubt, you weaken your alignment. When you burn the ships of hesitation, when you close every door but the one that leads to your desire, certainty awakens and reality bends. Certainty is not arrogance. It is not pride. It is alignment with truth. When you are certain, you are declaring, I already live in the reality I seek. You are not asking, it is already yours. The vibration of certainty is irresistible. The universe must echo it. Think of a seed. When a farmer plants, he does not doubt whether it will sprout. He waters it with certainty. He plans his harvest with certainty. Even if storms come, even if weeks pass without signs, he remains certain, for he knows the law of the seed. And so the sprout appears, as it always does. In the same way, your visions are seeds. When you plant them in imagination, you must water them with certainty. Doubt is poison. Certainty is nourishment. There was once a woman who longed to be healed. Doctors told her she would never recover, but within her heart a certainty stirred. Each morning she rose and declared, "I am already whole." She walked as if her healing were fact, even while pain still lived in her body. She gave thanks for strength before it returned. She smiled with joy before the evidence arrived. Weeks turned into months, and slowly her body shifted. Her doctors could not explain it, but she knew it was certainty. The difference between those who manifest with ease and those who struggle is not effort. It is certainty. Some plead endlessly, waiting for signs, but never enter alignment. Others, once aligned, declare it done and move forward. Their certainty summons the reality. But you may ask, how do I cultivate certainty when my eyes see lack, when my ears hear doubt, when my circumstances contradict me? The answer is this: certainty is not born from what you see, but from what you choose to believe. If you wait for the world to prove it before you believe, you will never align. If you believe first, the world must prove it. This is the paradox of faith. You must hold certainty in the unseen until the seen bends to it. Think of a bridge in the mist. You cannot see the far side, but you take each step with certainty it is there. If you demanded to see the far side before stepping, you would never cross. Certainty is the courage to step, trusting the bridge exists even before you see it. Your sacred practice is this: choose one desire that burns deeply within you. Then declare with full conviction, "It is done." Speak it aloud, write it down, carry it in your heart. Each time doubt whispers, reply, "No, it is already mine." Walk through your day as if the desire has already manifested. Feel it in your bones, in your breath, in your heartbeat. The more you embody this certainty, the faster reality must align. There was a poor craftsman who longed for wealth. Every day he begged the gods to bless him, but nothing changed. One night, in a dream, a voice said, "Stop begging, claim it." He woke with new fire. He stopped asking and began declaring. He walked through his small shop as if it were already vast, spoke to his few customers as if they were many, thanked the universe daily for the wealth he could not yet see. Within years, his name became known across cities. His dream was not answered when he begged. It was answered when he became certain. Certainty shifts the atmosphere around you. People feel it. Doors open to it. Opportunities bow to it. You have felt it in others, those who enter a room with quiet conviction, who speak as though reality bends for them. That same power is within you. It is not reserved for the few. It is the law. But beware, certainty cannot be faked. It is not loud arrogance or empty affirmations shouted into the void. It is quiet, steady alignment. Even in silence, it radiates. Even without words, it commands. The one who is truly certain does not need to convince anyone. The universe itself is already convinced. This is the eighth alignment, to release doubt and embody certainty, declaring your desire as already done and living in its fulfillment before the evidence appears. Close your eyes now. Picture your desire fulfilled. See it in vivid detail. Feel the joy of it, the relief of it, the gratitude of it. Then whisper, not as hope, but as fact, "It is done. It is mine. I live in it now." Let this certainty root so deeply within you that no storm can shake it. Chapter 9. The Rhythm of Receiving. There is a rhythm to life, a hidden cadence that moves through every sunrise, every tide, every heartbeat. Inhale, exhale, give, receive, expansion, contraction. The entire universe breathes in this eternal rhythm. Stars are born, expand, burn, and release their light. Oceans rise and fall in tides. Even your heart, beating now in your chest, contracts and releases in perfect harmony. To resist this rhythm is to exhaust yourself. To align with it is to awaken flow. Receiving is as sacred as giving. Yet many walk this earth with open hands that cannot hold because their hearts are closed. They pray for abundance, yet secretly believe they are unworthy of it. They long for love, yet shrink when it comes, doubting whether they deserve it. They ask the universe for blessings while simultaneously refusing to receive them. This dissonance blocks the rhythm. To receive is not arrogance, it is alignment. Pause and ask yourself gently, how do I truly receive? When someone offers you a compliment, do you shrink, dismiss, or deflect it? When life sends you small blessings, do you overlook them, waiting for larger proof? These are the subtle ways we deny receiving, and the law is clear. What you cannot receive, you cannot keep. There was once a farmer who harvested his fields, but when others praised the richness of his crops, he replied, "It is nothing. I was only lucky." He deflected the abundance, refusing to acknowledge it. Season after season, his yield shrank until he was left with little. Then one day, he realized that to dismiss a blessing is to reject the current of receiving. He began to give thanks for each harvest, no matter how small. He smiled when praised, saying, "Yes, the earth is generous, and I am grateful." In time, his crops flourished again, as though the soil itself rejoiced in his willingness to receive. The truth is this: abundance flows not to those who force it, but to those who know how to receive it with grace. Receiving is a vibration. It is the posture of open arms, of gratitude, of readiness. The universe longs to give, but it must give through channels that are open. Think of rain falling from the heavens. If your vessel is turned upside down, the rain passes over you, never filling you. If your vessel is cracked with doubt, it leaks away before you can drink. But if your vessel is whole, upright, and open, the rain gathers, overflowing, sustaining you. Your heart is that vessel. Your openness is the measure of how much you can receive. There was once a woman who prayed endlessly for wealth. She repeated affirmations, worked tirelessly, but nothing shifted. One evening, she sat in silence and asked herself, "If the wealth I desire arrived tomorrow, could I truly receive it?" The answer was no. Deep down, she believed money was corrupt, that having too much would make her selfish, that she was not worthy of riches. The contradiction repelled what she longed for, so she began to realign. She released her guilt, affirmed her worthiness, and practiced receiving in small ways. She smiled at compliments, accepted small gifts with gratitude, allowed herself to enjoy the blessings of each day. Soon, her ability to receive grew, and with it, her outer abundance. The rhythm of receiving is not passive. It is not waiting with folded hands, hoping something will drop into your lap. It is active openness, a state of expectation that says, "I am ready, I am worthy, I am aligned." To receive is to make space, to prepare, to welcome. If you desire love, create space for it in your heart and in your days. If you desire wealth, create space for it in your mindset and in your actions. If you desire peace, create space for it in your choices. The universe fills the spaces you prepare. Imagine a table set for a feast, plates, glasses, candles, everything prepared. When the guests arrive, they are welcomed, for the host has made space. But if the table is cluttered, dirty, or empty, no feast can be served. Your life is that table. When you prepare it with expectation, life brings the feast. The rhythm of receiving also requires stillness. Just as the ocean must be calm to reflect the stars, your mind must be still to notice what the universe is offering. Often blessings arrive quietly, disguised as small opportunities, whispers, coincidences. But when the mind is loud with fear or impatience, they go unseen. To receive is to quiet the noise, to listen, to notice. There was once a monk who prayed for guidance. He begged heaven to send a sign. Days passed, and he grew angry, believing he had been ignored. Then a stranger told him, "The universe has answered you 3 times. A bird landed on your windowsill, a child smiled at you, a breeze stirred your candle. But your mind was so loud, you did not hear." The monk wept, realizing he had prayed to receive, but had not stilled himself to notice. From that day, he practiced silence, and the signs became clear. Here is your sacred practice. For the next 7 days, practice receiving in small ways. When someone offers you kindness, accept it fully. When a moment of beauty passes, a sunset, a song, a smile, receive it with gratitude. When abundance flows, whether in pennies or in plenty, open your heart and say, "Thank you, I receive." Each act of receiving strengthens your alignment, opening wider channels for greater blessings. Also, practice preparing space. Write down one desire you wish to manifest, and then prepare for it now. If it is love, create space in your life for another. If it is wealth, organize your finances as though overflow is already on its way. If it is health, treat your body as though it were already whole. This preparation is an act of faith, a signal to the universe, "I am ready to receive." Receiving is not selfish, it is sacred. For when you receive fully, you overflow, and from that overflow you give. The river does not apologize for filling itself. It flows full, so it can nourish the land. Likewise, when you receive abundance, you are empowered to bless others. The rhythm of life is not only to give, but also to receive, and in that balance, harmony is restored. The 9th alignment is this: to open your heart as a vessel of receiving, to prepare space, and to embody worthiness, so that the blessings of the universe may pour freely into your life. Close your eyes now. Breathe deeply. Imagine yourself as an open vessel beneath a sky of infinite abundance. See light raining down, filling you, overflowing. Whisper softly, "I am ready. I am worthy. I receive with gratitude. The rhythm of life flows through me. Abundance comes, and I welcome it fully." And as you speak, feel the vessel of your heart filling even now. Chapter 10. The Field of Infinite Possibility. There is a field beyond all limitation, a boundless expanse where every version of your life already exists. Mystics have called it the Akashic Record. Physicists call it the quantum field. Poets have called it the dream of God. But whatever name you give it, the truth remains. You are standing within infinite possibility at every moment. This field is not far away. It is not hidden in the heavens, nor locked behind some spiritual gate. It is here, humming silently all around you, woven into the fabric of your being. With every thought, every belief, every emotion, you pluck a string within this infinite field, and reality vibrates accordingly. You are not waiting for possibility. It waits for you. Pause and imagine a library without end. Each shelf contains books of different lives you could live. In one, you are wealthy beyond measure. In another, you are loved deeply. In another, you are radiant with health. All of them are real, all of them already written. Your consciousness is the reader, and whichever book you open, you step into its story. Most live in the same book day after day, never realizing they could reach for another. But you are awakening. You are realizing that the book is yours to choose. There was once a young shepherd who dreamed of being a great scholar. Each day, as he tended his sheep, he imagined himself reading by candlelight, debating with wise men, writing truths that would last beyond his life. The villagers laughed. "You are only a shepherd," they said. "This life is the only book you will ever read." But the shepherd did not believe them. He chose differently. He aligned his mind with the possibility of learning. Whenever he found scraps of parchment, he traced letters on them. When he met travelers, he asked questions. His desire resonated so strongly that one day a wealthy merchant passing through noticed his hunger for knowledge and offered to sponsor his education. In time, the shepherd became a great teacher, his words preserved for centuries. He did not create possibility. He stepped into it. You too are a shepherd standing before infinite shelves. The field of possibility does not ask whether you are worthy. It does not demand sacrifice. It responds only to alignment. When you align with wealth, you open the book of wealth. When you align with love, you open the book of love. When you align with despair, you open the book of despair. The choice is always yours. But how do you open these books? Through consciousness. Your imagination is the key, your belief, the hand that turns the page. When you imagine vividly, when you believe with certainty, you are not pretending. You are entering a new possibility. And once you enter, the field arranges itself to match. This is why Neville Goddard said, "Imagination is the only reality." For imagination is the bridge into the infinite field. Think of reality not as a single path, but as a web of threads, each glowing with potential. At every moment, you stand at the center, holding countless strings. Whichever one you focus on begins to glow brighter, pulling you toward it. If you focus on lack, that thread tightens. If you focus on abundance, that thread becomes the road beneath your feet. You are not bound to one destiny. You are bound only by the threads you choose to pull. There was once a woman who had suffered misfortune for many years. She believed she was cursed, that life had condemned her to misery. Then she heard a teacher say, "You are not cursed. You are simply aligned with the possibility of misfortune. Step into another field." At first, she did not understand, but she tried. Each morning she imagined herself smiling, healthy, surrounded by good fortune. At night, she gave thanks as if blessings were already hers. Slowly, her reality shifted. She found new work, loving friendships, opportunities she could never have imagined before. She had not broken a curse. She had turned the page. The danger lies in unconscious alignment. Many live unaware of the possibilities they are reinforcing. They rehearse fears, dwell on regrets, complain of lack, and without realizing it, they open again and again the book of struggle. They believe it is fate, when in truth it is repetition. But the moment you awaken, the moment you choose consciously, you step into freedom. How do you align with higher possibilities? Begin by noticing your assumptions. What story are you telling yourself about life? Do you say, "Nothing ever works for me"? Then you are holding that book. Do you say, "I always find a way, blessings come easily"? Then you are holding another. Your assumptions are bookmarks in the field of possibility. Shift the assumption, shift the story, shift the life. Your sacred practice is this. Each morning, before rising, close your eyes and enter the field. Imagine standing before endless shelves, each book glowing with potential. Reach for the one that holds your desired life. See yourself opening it. Step into its pages. Live in it for a few moments. Feel it. Breathe it. Walk within it. Then carry that alignment into your day. Each choice, each action, will flow from the book you have opened. There was a man who longed to be free from debt. He had rehearsed the story of lack so long that it seemed unbreakable. But one night he tried this practice. He imagined a book titled Financial Freedom. He opened it and saw himself smiling as he paid off his last bill, saw himself giving generously, saw himself walking with peace instead of worry. He lived in that vision nightly. Within a year, opportunities appeared. New work, unexpected support, creative ideas that freed him from debt entirely. He had not forced the change. He had chosen a different page. This is the power of the field. You are never trapped. Even when circumstances seem immovable, the field waits, infinite, offering another thread, another story. The moment you choose it inwardly, the outer must bend. The 10th alignment is this: to recognize life as an infinite field of possibility and to consciously choose, through imagination and belief, the reality you wish to live. Close your eyes now. See the shelves before you, endless, glowing. Reach for the book of abundance. Open it. Step into its pages. Feel yourself living in it now. Whisper softly, "I choose abundance. I choose joy. I choose love. I live in the field of infinite possibility, and I align with the highest story of my soul." Chapter 11. The Bridge of Emotion. If thought is the blueprint of creation, then emotion is the bridge that carries thought into reality. Thoughts without emotion are sketches on paper, delicate, fragile, easily forgotten. But when infused with feeling, they become living designs, vibrating with power, compelling the universe to take notice. This is why emotion is sacred. It is the energy that makes the unseen seen, the intangible tangible. Consider this. Every memory you carry, every moment that lingers in your heart, is not remembered because of the detail, but because of the emotion. You may forget the words spoken, the clothes worn, the hour on the clock, but you never forget how it made you feel. Emotion etches experiences into the fabric of your being, and likewise, it etches your desires into the fabric of reality. Pause for a moment and reflect on the last time you felt joy so full it lifted you beyond yourself. Remember how life seemed to bend in your favor during those days? Doors opened, people smiled, synchronicities multiplied. That was not accident. That was resonance, born of emotion. Joy aligned you with joy. Gratitude aligned you with blessings. Love aligned you with more love. But here is the hidden danger. Many people rehearse their emotions unconsciously, replaying fear, anger, resentment. They dwell in those states until they harden into their daily vibration. And the law is merciless. What you feel persistently must mirror back to you. When anger is rehearsed, life presents reasons for more anger. When fear is rehearsed, life echoes fear. The bridge of emotion does not discriminate. It carries whatever you give it, whether blessing or burden. There was once a man who longed for wealth, but lived each day steeped in worry. He counted coins with trembling hands, spoke constantly of bills, imagined ruin at every turn. His thoughts spoke of abundance, but his emotions carried lack, and so lack returned. One evening, an old teacher asked him, "What do you feel when you think of wealth?" The man replied, "Fear that it will not come." The teacher smiled and said, "Then you are not aligned with wealth, but with its absence. Choose a different feeling." The man began to practice gratitude daily, celebrating even the smallest blessings. Slowly, his emotions shifted from fear to joy, and soon after, his outer life began to reflect the inner shift. You see, emotion is not weakness, it is creation. To master emotion is to master alignment. Imagine your emotions as colors on a painter's palette. Each thought is a brush dipped into a color. If you dip into fear, you paint a world of shadows. If you dip into joy, you paint a world of light. The canvas of your life does not choose the colors, you do, and the painting cannot resist your strokes. There was once a woman who prayed for love, but lived each day in loneliness. Her prayers were filled with tears, her affirmations with longing. She imagined love, but felt emptiness. Then she learned of the bridge of emotion. She stopped asking and began embodying. Each morning she closed her eyes and felt, with all her heart, the warmth of being cherished. She imagined laughter, connection, joy, and felt it until her body vibrated with it. Within months, love found her. Not because she begged for it, but because she aligned with the feeling of it before it arrived. This is the secret. Do not ask, "When will it come?" Instead ask, "How can I feel it now?" The answer is always available. Gratitude, visualization, breath, imagination, all are keys to unlock the feeling of the reality you seek. And once you feel it, the bridge is built. The outer world must walk across it. But beware of misusing this law. Some force themselves to feel joy, layering false smiles over suppressed pain. This is not alignment, it is denial. The universe does not respond to masks. It responds to authentic vibration. If you are heavy with sorrow, acknowledge it, feel it, release it, then gently turn your gaze toward a better feeling. Alignment is not about pretending. It is about choosing again and again, step by step, until the feeling shifts. Your sacred practice is this. Each day, choose one desire you hold in your heart. Then close your eyes and ask, "What does it feel like if this were already true?" Do not watch it from a distance. Step into it. If you long for abundance, feel the relief of bills paid, the joy of generosity, the freedom of overflow. If you long for health, feel the lightness of your body, the ease of movement, the radiance of vitality. If you long for love, feel the warmth of connection, the laughter of companionship, the comfort of belonging. Hold the feeling until it fills you. That feeling is the bridge. There was once a scholar who studied manifestation but saw no results. He spoke affirmations, recited mantras, memorized scriptures, but his life remained the same. One night, he heard a whisper in his dream. "You think with your head but never with your heart. Until you feel it, it will not come." He awoke and began a new practice. Instead of repeating words, he entered the feeling of his desires. He imagined not only the image but the emotion of their fulfillment. Within months, his life transformed. Knowledge became experience. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude is the purest bridge. When you give thanks as if something has already come, you align with the emotion of having. Gratitude dissolves longing and replaces it with certainty. Gratitude is the language of receivership, the vibration of fulfillment. The more you feel it, the faster the unseen becomes seen. Emotion is also contagious. When you sustain joy, those around you feel lifted. When you sustain peace, others calm in your presence. When you sustain love, hearts open near you. Your vibration does not stop at your skin. It radiates, weaving into the field, touching all within reach. In this way, your emotion not only builds your bridge, but shapes the bridges of those around you. The 11th alignment is this: to recognize emotion as the bridge between thought and reality, and to choose, cultivate, and sustain the feelings of your desired life until the outer must reflect the inner. Close your eyes now. Breathe slowly. Imagine one desire fulfilled. Feel it, not as hope, not as distance, but as now. Let your body respond. Your shoulders relax, your chest opens, your face softens. Whisper softly, "I feel the joy of it now. I feel the gratitude of it now. My emotion builds the bridge, and my reality walks across it." Chapter 12. The Law of Inner Authority. There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when they must decide who holds the authority over their life. Is it the shifting opinions of others? Is it the shadows of past experience? Is it the noise of the world? Or is it the still, sovereign voice within, the voice that knows, the voice that commands, the voice that shapes? The law of inner authority declares this: reality bends not to the voices outside you, but to the conviction within you. Pause and feel this truth. The most powerful force in your life is not circumstance, nor chance, nor even the approval of others. It is your inner decree. When you speak inwardly, with absolute authority, the unseen obeys. When you falter, when you waver, when you surrender that authority to doubt, reality reflects your surrender. But when you stand firm, when you anchor yourself in the certainty of your inner word, reality has no choice but to realign. Consider the story of the centurion who came to the teacher seeking healing for his servant. The centurion said, "Speak the word only, and it shall be done." He understood authority. He knew that a command, spoken with certainty, did not require proximity or proof. It required alignment, and the servant was healed. The centurion's faith was not blind, it was authoritative. He recognized that authority flows from certainty, not from pleading. How many of us plead with the universe, begging for change, asking for proof, waiting for signs? Yet pleading is the language of the powerless. Authority is the language of creation. The one who pleads says, "I do not have." The one who commands says, "It is already mine," and the law answers accordingly. There was once a young artist who dreamed of sharing her work with the world. But every time she prepared to show her paintings, she hesitated, fearing rejection. She asked friends for permission, sought critics' approval, waited for the world to tell her she was worthy. And so, her canvases collected dust. One day, an elder said to her, "Stop waiting for the world to crown you. Crown yourself. Your inner decree will make the world follow." The artist took the words to heart. She began to declare within herself, "My art is worthy. My work is powerful. The world desires what I create." With this new inner authority, she began to share her work boldly. Soon doors opened, patrons appeared, and her art found its place. The shift was not in the world, it was in her authority. Authority is alignment with your own sovereignty. It is not arrogance, it is not force. True authority does not shout, it speaks, and the unseen listens. It does not beg, it declares. It does not hope, it knows. And knowledge, when anchored, reshapes the field. Think of a mountain. Winds may howl, storms may rage, yet the mountain does not move. That is authority. Think of the sun. Clouds may cover it, but it shines regardless. That is authority. When you live from inner authority, you become unmoved by appearances, unshaken by circumstance. You declare the reality you choose, and you hold it until the mirror reflects. There was once a merchant ship caught in a violent storm. The sailors panicked, shouting that the sea would swallow them. But the captain stood at the helm, calm, unshaken. He said, "We will not sink. We will reach the shore." His certainty spread to the crew, steadying their hearts. And indeed, the ship survived the storm. The sea did not obey the panic of the sailors. It obeyed the authority of the captain. So it is with your life. When fear arises, when others panic, when the storm of circumstances rages, who holds the helm? If you surrender your inner authority to fear, you drift aimlessly. But if you hold it with certainty, if you declare, "This is where I am going, and nothing can move me," the storm itself must bow. Authority also requires discipline. The inner voice must be consistent. If you declare wealth one moment and complain of lack the next, you weaken your authority. If you affirm health in the morning but speak of sickness by night, you split your decree. Authority is not in words alone, it is in consistency. Just as a king does not change his law each hour, your inner decree must be steady, unwavering. Your sacred practice is this: each morning, choose one decree and speak it inwardly with authority. Not as a wish, but as a law. For example, I live in abundance. I am wealthy now. Or, I walk in perfect health. My body is whole. Or, I am deeply loved and cherished. Speak it not timidly, but with the authority of one who commands reality. Then, hold it throughout the day. When doubts arise, do not argue. Simply return to your decree. Say, "No, it is already done." This is not repetition, it is authority. There was once a man crushed by debt. Every day he complained, speaking of his struggle, declaring his poverty. And so his life obeyed. Then he learned the law of authority. He changed his decree. Each day he declared with certainty, "I am free, I am prosperous, money flows easily to me." Though nothing changed immediately, he refused to waver. Weeks passed, opportunities appeared, debts dissolved, abundance began to flow. His decree had reshaped his life. Authority is also silence. The one who truly holds authority does not need to explain himself to doubters, does not need to persuade critics, does not need to defend his vision. He simply knows, and his knowing commands reality. To explain endlessly is to reveal insecurity. To declare inwardly and rest is to reveal authority. The 12th alignment is this: to reclaim your inner authority, to declare reality from within, and to hold your decree with unwavering consistency until the outer world obeys. Close your eyes now. Place your hand on your heart. Choose one decree. Speak it inwardly with conviction. Say, "This is my truth. This is my law. This is already mine." Feel the strength of your word ripple through you. Imagine it echoing into the unseen, bending reality into alignment. Whisper softly, "I am the authority of my life. My decree is law. Reality obeys my certainty." Chapter 13. The Temple of Stillness. Beyond all striving, beyond all affirmations, beyond the endless noise of the world, there is a temple, not built with stone, but with silence. This temple is stillness. And it is here, in this sacred space, that the greatest transformations occur. For the universe is not moved by desperation nor by frantic effort. It is moved by alignment, and alignment is clearest in stillness. Think of a pond. When its surface is disturbed, the reflection is broken. You cannot see the sky clearly. But when the water is still, the heavens appear perfectly, mirrored upon the surface. Your mind is that pond. When restless with fear, doubt, and worry, the mirror of reality reflects chaos. When stilled with trust, gratitude, and faith, the mirror reflects heaven. The ancients knew this. The sages withdrew to mountains, deserts, and caves, not to escape the world, but to enter the temple of stillness. In stillness, they touched the eternal. In stillness, they aligned with truth, and from that place of quiet certainty, they returned, carrying wisdom and power. But you need not retreat to a mountain to enter this temple. It is within you. Every breath is a doorway. Every pause is an invitation. The temple of stillness is always open to those who step inside. There was once a king tormented by the demands of his throne. His advisors argued, his people complained, his enemies threatened. He sought counsel from wise men, but their words conflicted, leaving him more troubled. Finally, an old mystic came to him and said, "You must not seek counsel outside. You must seek stillness within." The king resisted, saying, "How can silence solve what armies cannot?" But at last, desperate, he agreed. He sat alone in his chamber, closing his eyes, breathing slowly, releasing the turmoil of thought. At first his mind roared louder than ever, but slowly the noise quieted. In that stillness he saw clearly what needed to be done. His decisions thereafter brought peace to his kingdom. He learned that stillness is not the absence of action, it is the root of wise action. So it is with you. When you act from chaos, you scatter your energy. When you act from stillness, you align with the current of the universe. One aligned action from stillness accomplishes more than 1,000 frantic efforts. Pause here. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Notice how, even in this small moment of stillness, peace begins to bloom. This is the temple. You are inside it now. Why does stillness hold such power? Because in stillness, resistance dissolves. You are no longer pushing against life, no longer vibrating with fear. You are surrendered, open, aligned. And in that openness, the universe pours in. Just as a vessel cannot be filled while shaking, your life cannot be filled while restless. But in stillness, the vessel opens and abundance flows. There was once a woman who prayed daily for abundance. She repeated affirmations with great effort, worked long hours, but her life did not shift. Exhausted, she one day sat quietly, releasing her struggle. In that stillness, a gentle idea arose, an inspired action she had never considered. She followed it, and it opened the door to opportunities that changed her life. The abundance did not come through striving, it came through stillness. This does not mean you abandon effort, it means you let effort be guided by stillness. Like an archer who breathes deeply before releasing the arrow, you act from calm alignment, not frantic struggle. The arrow flies truer when released from stillness. Your sacred practice is this: each day, set aside time for stillness. It need not be long, even 10 minutes will shift you. Sit quietly, breathe slowly, let thoughts rise and fall without clinging. Do not fight them, simply let them pass like clouds across the sky. Enter the temple. From this place, whisper your desire, not as a plea, but as a knowing. Say softly, "It is done." Then release it into the silence. Trust that the stillness has carried it into the unseen. The more you practice this, the more you will notice that answers come unbidden, ideas flow easily, synchronicities multiply. What once seemed forced now feels effortless. This is the power of stillness. There was once a fisherman who grew frustrated by his empty nets. He shouted at the sea, cursed the waves, struggled against the tide. His nets remained barren. Then one day he sat quietly on the shore, watching the water in stillness. In that silence, he noticed the patterns of the fish, the places where they gathered. The next day, he cast his nets with calm precision, and they overflowed. His success came not from rage, but from stillness. Understand this: stillness is not emptiness. It is fullness, rich with possibility. It is the womb of creation. When you rest in stillness, you are not doing nothing. You are allowing everything. You are aligning with the hidden current that knows where to carry you. This is why meditation, prayer, breathwork, all these practices are powerful. They lead you into stillness, into the temple where alignment is pure. From there, your decree is amplified, your vibration refined, your resonance multiplied. The 13th alignment is this: to enter the temple of stillness daily, to release struggle, and to act only from the clarity and alignment found in silence. Close your eyes now. Imagine yourself stepping into a vast temple. Its walls glow with light. Its air hums with peace. Sit upon its floor. Feel the silence wrap around you like a cloak. In this temple, you speak not with words, but with vibration. Whisper softly, "I align with stillness. I release struggle. I act only from clarity and peace. The universe flows through me, and I flow with it." Chapter 14. The Circle of Expansion. All of life moves in circles. Galaxies swirl in spirals, planets orbit suns, seasons return again and again. Your breath itself is a circle, in and out, receiving and releasing. Expansion is the rhythm of the cosmos, and you are not separate from it. You are an extension of the universe's endless unfolding. Pause and reflect. Everything in creation desires to expand. The seed does not remain a seed, it becomes a tree. The river does not remain a trickle, it widens into the sea. Even your own heart does not remain as it was in childhood. It grows with each experience, each lesson, each alignment. Expansion is law. You cannot stop it. But you can resist it, or you can align with it. When you resist, life feels heavy, stagnant, repetitive. You cling to the known, to comfort, to safety, and yet inside, something aches for more. When you align, life feels alive, fresh, full of possibility. Doors open, paths appear, blessings multiply. The circle of expansion is not optional, it is the nature of existence. But you choose whether to resist it in fear or flow with it in faith. There was once a merchant who built a small shop. At first, it flourished, but as years passed, he refused to grow. He feared the risk of expansion, clinging tightly to what he already had. Slowly, his business withered, not because the world had turned against him, but because he had turned against expansion. Across the street, another merchant embraced the circle. She expanded her offerings, learned new skills, welcomed change. Her shop grew until it filled the marketplace. Both lived under the same sky, but only one aligned with expansion. This truth is mirrored in the story of a river. When a river flows freely, it nourishes the land, carries fish, sustains life. But if it is dammed without outlet, it grows stagnant, breeding decay. So it is with you. When you withhold your gifts, when you resist growth, when you cling to the past, stagnation sets in. But when you expand, giving, creating, flowing, you align with the rhythm of the cosmos. Expansion begins within. It is not always visible at first. The bamboo plant for years grows only underground, unseen. Then, suddenly, it bursts upward, growing feet in days. Its expansion was hidden but inevitable. Likewise, when you cultivate yourself inwardly, aligning with truth, nourishing your vision, sustaining your vibration, your outer expansion will come suddenly as though overnight, but it was always growing in the unseen. Many fear expansion because it demands leaving the old behind. To grow into wealth, you must leave behind poverty thinking. To grow into love, you must leave behind unworthiness. To grow into health, you must leave behind habits that destroy you. Expansion is birth, and birth requires release. You cannot carry the old self into the new circle. The circle expands by shedding what no longer fits. There was once a woman who longed for love. She prayed for it daily, but clung to bitterness from past wounds. She rehearsed betrayal, carried mistrust, and thus resisted expansion. Love tried to reach her, but found her vessel already full of old stories. Finally, she chose to release. She forgave, she softened, she opened. The moment she released the past, her circle expanded and love entered. Your sacred practice is this. Each day, ask yourself, where am I resisting expansion? Perhaps it is in money. Are you clinging to smallness, afraid of overflow? Perhaps it is in purpose. Are you hiding your gifts, afraid of visibility? Perhaps it is in love. Are you withholding yourself, afraid of vulnerability? Wherever fear resists, expansion calls. And the moment you say yes, the circle widens. Imagine your life as a circle drawn in sand. At first it is small, but each time you align with growth, the circle widens. Each time you act from faith, it widens. Each time you embody abundance, it widens. Soon, the circle is vast, encompassing blessings you once thought impossible. But expansion is not only for you. As your circle widens, it touches others, lifting them, inspiring them, blessing them. Your expansion is part of the greater expansion of all. There was once a teacher who lived quietly in a small village. At first, he taught only a handful of students. But his circle expanded with each word, each lesson. His students carried his teachings to other towns, then other nations. Long after his death, his circle continued to expand, touching souls he never met. This is the truth. Expansion does not end with you. It ripples outward endlessly. So, how do you align with the circle of expansion? First, by expecting it. Wake each day with the thought, today I expand. Today my life grows larger, richer, fuller. Second, by welcoming change. Expansion rarely comes in familiar form. It surprises, stretches, challenges. Welcome it. Third, by giving. When you give, you expand the circle for others, and the universe expands it for you. The 14th alignment is this: to surrender to the circle of expansion, releasing the old, welcoming the new, and trusting that growth is the law of life itself. Close your eyes now. Imagine a circle drawn around you, glowing with light. See it expand outward, wider and wider, encompassing abundance, love, health, joy. Feel yourself growing into it, no longer limited, no longer small. Whisper softly, I align with expansion. I release the old. I welcome the new. My life grows larger with each breath. My circle expands, and the universe expands with me. Chapter 15. The Fire of Desire. At the heart of creation, beneath all laws and alignments, there burns a sacred fire. This fire is desire. It is the pulse that drives stars to shine, seeds to sprout, rivers to flow, and you to dream. Desire is not weakness. It is not greed. It is the spark of life itself, the signal from the infinite urging you toward expansion. Pause and let this truth settle. The desires within you are not random. They are not accidents. They are whispers from the infinite, invitations to align with the greater unfolding of your soul. When you desire love, it is because love is already written in your field. When you desire abundance, it is because abundance already exists for you. When you desire growth, it is because expansion is your natural state. Desire is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to be honored. There was once a young boy who lived near a mountain. Each night he stared at its peak, longing to climb it. The villagers mocked him, saying, "Stay in the valley. The mountain is too high. Desire only brings pain." But the boy could not silence the fire within. He began his climb, step by step. The path was hard, but his desire carried him higher. At the peak, he saw horizons the villagers never imagined, valleys, rivers, lands beyond. His desire was not a curse, it was his compass. So it is with you. Your desires are your compass. They point you toward the life written in your soul's blueprint. To deny them is to deny your own unfolding. To honor them is to align with destiny. But here lies the danger. Many confuse desire with longing. Longing says, I want, but I don't have. Desire, aligned with certainty, says, I want, and it is already mine. Longing vibrates with lack. Desire, when honored, vibrates with fulfillment. The fire of desire must not burn as hunger. It must burn as certainty. There was once a woman who desired wealth. For years she longed for it, complaining daily, envying others, feeding her hunger with resentment. Her fire burned as smoke, choking her. Then she learned the law. She transformed her desire into certainty. Instead of longing, she declared, "Wealth is mine now. I walk in abundance." She aligned her actions, her feelings, her vision with this certainty. Soon, opportunities appeared, doors opened, and wealth came. The fire of desire became the fuel of manifestation. Desire is not something to suppress. Too often, spiritual seekers are taught that desire is unholy, that to want is to fall. But listen, even the universe desires. The tree desires to grow taller. The flower desires to bloom. The star desires to shine. Desire is the heartbeat of creation. It is not desire that traps you, but attachment. Desire, honored and released with certainty, aligns you with expansion. Attachment, clinging with desperation, misaligns you with fear. Think of fire. When controlled, It cooks, warms, illuminates. When uncontrolled, it burns, destroys, consumes. So it is with desire. Aligned desire fuels creation. Misaligned desire consumes in longing. Your task is not to extinguish desire, but to align it with certainty, gratitude, and stillness. Your sacred practice is this: each time a desire rises, do not dismiss it or drown in it. Honor it. Say softly, "This is an invitation from my higher self." Then step into alignment. Imagine the desire already fulfilled. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the abundance of it. Let the fire warm you, not burn you. Then release it into the universe, trusting that the law must obey. There was once a farmer who desired rain for his crops. He did not long in despair, saying, "Perhaps the sky will forget me." Instead, he prepared his fields, sowed his seeds, and stood with faith. He aligned with his desire, acted as though the rain was certain, and when the clouds broke, his harvest was abundant. Desire moved him to prepare, and preparation opened him to receive. Desire is also expansion for others. When you desire wealth, it is not only for yourself, but to bless others. When you desire love, it is not only for yourself, but to radiate love outward. When you desire growth, it is not only for yourself, but to lift those around you. Your desire is never selfish when aligned with the greater circle of expansion. The 15th alignment is this: to honor desire as the sacred fire of creation, to transform longing into certainty, and to align with the fulfillment of your vision as already done. Close your eyes now. Feel the fire of desire within you. Do not fear it. Do not suppress it. Let it burn as light, not as smoke. Whisper softly, "My desires are holy. They are the compass of my soul. I do not long, I align. I do not beg, I declare. What I desire is already mine, and the fire within me fuels its unfolding." Conclusion: the Great Alignment. You have walked through temples of silence, rivers of resonance, mirrors of reality, and fields of infinite possibility. You have seen that life is not random, not cruel, not governed by chance, but by alignment. Alignment is the great law behind all laws. It is the current beneath the surface, the tuning fork of the soul, the key that unlocks the doors of abundance, love, peace, and power. Pause and breathe this in. You are not powerless. You are not waiting for permission. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. You are the mirror, the instrument, the decree. The universe does not withhold from you. It simply reflects you, and the moment you align with what you desire, the reflection must shift. The ancients knew this and spoke it in parables. The sages hinted at it. The mystics lived it. The prophets declared it. As within, so without. As you believe, so it shall be. This is not philosophy. It is law. You are living it now, in every breath, in every thought, in every feeling. But now you are awakened. You no longer drift unconsciously. You no longer rehearse lack, fear, or despair without knowing their cost. You are sovereign. You are aware. You are aligned. Think of your journey ahead. There will still be storms, but you are the captain at the helm. There will still be mirrors, but you know how to adjust yourself instead of striking the glass. There will still be desires, but you will no longer mistake them for longing. You will honor them as the fire of creation. You will no longer wait for signs. You will become the sign. You will no longer beg. You will decree. Your life, from this moment on, is not a rehearsal. It is the stage of creation. You are the actor, the director, the playwright. The field of infinite possibility lies before you, like an unwritten script. Each thought is a pen. Each feeling is ink. Each word is law. And the story you write will unfold upon the screen of reality. So choose your resonance wisely. Speak your decrees with authority. Enter the temple of stillness daily. Flow with the hidden current instead of rowing against it. Feel your desires as already fulfilled. Receive with open arms. Expand with courage. Above all, hold certainty like a crown upon your head. For certainty is the final seal. It is the voice that whispers not, "I hope," but "it is done." And when you live in that knowing, reality itself bends to your alignment. Your sacred practice now is to live this truth daily. When you rise each morning, breathe deeply and declare, "I align with abundance. I align with love. I align with peace. I align with joy." The universe reflects my alignment, and my reality obeys my decree. Walk in this vibration, speak from this certainty, and watch as the world unfolds to meet you. The journey is not ending here. It is beginning. You stand at the threshold of infinite possibility. The mirror is waiting. The current is flowing. The temple is open. The circle is expanding. The fire is burning. The law is faithful. You are aligned. You are radiant. You are infinite.